Police forces across the UK have revealed they're investigating thousands of alleged crimes involving Facebook and Twitter. Some cases include claims of sexual abuse, threats to kill and harassment. Emma Birchley reports.
Modern technology is changing crime. If you're on Facebook or Twitter, it's hard to escape those intent on harassment or abuse. It was social media that enabled racists to target 17-year-old Brenda Matho online.
At first I didn't really want anything done about it, but then my parents said I should report it to the police, and the police came over, we had a chat about it, and they said that they were going to try and do something about it, and a few months later nothing, didn't hear back from them, nothing at all.
But Brenda and her friends at 1 Sixth Form in Ipswich think victims should still come forward.
If it goes past bullying into something more serious, then something really needs to be sorted, and that's when you should go to the police, I think.
Now, new figures have revealed a significant increase in complaints about crimes involving social media. Most of the 45 forces that responded to a Freedom of Information request stated that crime reports involving Twitter and Facebook had increased in the past year, in many cases by a third or more. But it's thought the majority of such incidents still go unreported. There have been high-profile cases. Labour MP Stella Creasy and feminist activist Caroline Criado Perez were both bombarded with abusive tweets over the campaign for Jane Austen to feature on £10 notes. 3 people were prosecuted. But there's been concern about getting the balance right when it comes to freedom of speech, something officers are fully aware of at Suffolk and Norfolk's new cybercrime unit.
Everything's done proportionately within the legal framework. We obviously adhere to the law and the regulations, so it's about proportionality. In terms of freedom of speech, we obviously work within line with the Human Rights Act.
As social media grows, so do the challenges faced by its users, but also by those who use it to intimidate and abuse as the police close in. Emma Birchley, Sky News, Suffolk.
Well, our next guest has experienced online trolling firsthand. She's a journalist, Sonia Poulton. Welcome to you. Thank you very much for coming in. Tell us exactly what happened to you, because I mean it affected your life quite drastically.
Really. Well, it's still ongoing, and it's an ongoing investigation as well in many regards, so obviously I have to be very careful what I say. But it started in earnest about 3 years ago, shortly after the Jimmy Savile revelations, and as a journalist I started exploring the issue of paedophiles in the establishment, and that was when it really kicked off. And blogs started springing up defaming me and saying I was a hacker, a paedophile, a troll, a bully, all these different things. One of my trolls in recent times tweeted me 245 times, plain harassment, and this is somebody that I'd blocked on Twitter. And so, you know, it's sort of ongoing, really, but it's usually around the same issue.
So you blocked them, but how are they still able to contact you?
Well, on Twitter, what they can do, obviously, is they can still name you on Twitter. It wouldn't necessarily come into your Twitter feed, and so somebody else has been collating this because, as I say, it's an ongoing issue. And bit by bit, we're learning about the identities behind these anonymous avatars online who are targeting me.
So what did you do? Presumably you contacted the police, tried to get some legal help, but what happened with that?
Well, first of all, I'd like to be very clear here, and that is we must be very careful about the issue of freedom of speech, because it's one thing somebody saying, I saw you on TV, I don't like you, fine, you're entitled to your opinion. It's quite another saying, I'm going to come and murder and rape you. And that happened to me, and I contacted the Metropolitan Police, and in fact I contacted 3 Metropolitan Police stations, and each and every one of them said they couldn't help me.
What was the reason they were given?
Well,
I mean, is it that they're not really very versed in this area?
It is, massively so. And this is, again, where we have to be very careful, because there are people with agendas who want very much for us to clamp down on our freedom of speech online. And so they're happy to use the issue of trolling to do that. But the police are not versed with it. But the truth is, we already have laws to deal with malicious communications. We don't need to bring it in anymore. We just need to put into effect and know how they work the ones that already exist.
Some people take a different view there, and we've had a tweet tweet here saying, I'd rather the police investigate crime than people being beastly. I know you say it's not being beastly, it's actually...
It's not being beastly, it's
criminal.
way beyond that. In fact, I get very angry with people. I've seen the statistics today about the reports to the police, and I'm very angry that people are wasting police time on these things. They shouldn't. But obviously, if somebody's being threatened or being defamed, in which I am, and which other people are, then obviously it does become a police issue, because that's your reputation they're trying to attack. But I should say, and it's really important, that what we've now discovered, thanks to NBC in America, is actually Western agencies have been deploying people online to target activists. And that's our own GCHQ, our own government listening centre. They are employing people online to go after activists and to defame activists. That's actually happening. That's not conspiracy theory, that's conspiracy fact.
Will you ever leave social media?
Absolutely not. They could never push me off of it. My job's far too important for that. But what I would like to say is that Sky Twitter at this moment will be bombarded, probably by my trolls, saying, you've got a paedophile on your show at this moment in time, because that's what they do. They contact everybody. Every TV programme I appear on, they contact them and they try to get me removed.
Gosh, contagious.
Sonia, thank you very much
Pleasure.
for coming in and for sharing your dreadful experience with us.
Pleasure.